We have knockout destinations in WA to feast your senses on, just stunning. And over the years, we have visited many, many, many of those. But do you know what? Sometimes it's not those expansive big views that stick in your memory. Sometimes it's the really simple things like walking with the custodians. 6 million people take in this view from Kings Park each year. The park itself is home to more than half the state's plant species. And it's also full of history and culture. Some of it easy to see, some you'll need some help to discover.
Many Noongar Coolungas were born here. Just on the side here we have the statue here. Well, that actually one time ago was an actual freshwater spring. That statue represents the mother and the children. Before pioneers came, there was Yorga's place.
In fact, this story is the reason Perth has this oasis in the middle of prime real estate.
Well, it was preserved because a particular Premier, the Lord Forrest at that time, had 2 Noongar elders that actually helped him navigate the country, and they told him that this was a special place for women and it was also a birthing place. So Lord Forrest had honoured their word and said, you know, we'll preserve and keep that place, especially for the Noongar Yorgas.
One of Kerry-Ann's favourite spots on her tour are the banksia trees. For her ancestors, these weren't just pretty to look at.
There is about 65 different types of banksia species here. My Noongar people would use them for many different types of uses. So there would be medicinals, there would be food, and also to carry fire with this particular type of banksia.
Our cultural journey continues. Walter Maguire and Go Cultural Tours picked up a National Gold Tourism Award recently for their tours, and now they're sharing their knowledge of the island's cultural heritage.
So if you want to just grab some sand. Yarnba, kaya ngalaka nyo. Jaman ka maman ka. Ngalaka mamanin man yuat ko. Kujo ba nga pangarbe yuat ko. Walbe ngalaka yaki nitya yaya wanjama. I just called on our ancestors and also number 1 boss to come bless us, keep us safe here as we walk on this beautiful island we call Wanjamup, also known as Rottnest Island.
Most of the stories Walter shares with us have been collected and shared by his ancestors over thousands of years. There is one more recent chapter in the history of this island, though, that belies this idyllic backdrop.
All these walls you see, these limestone sea walls here, they were built by the Aboriginal prisoners that started to be brought over here from the 1838 to the 1930s. So what we have down here, just past on the left, is this the holding cell. It was also built by the Aboriginal prisoners, and overnight they would be brought here and held overnight, and then taken up through the prisoners' walk to the quad. So the quad was built by the Aboriginal prisoners in 1863. And then until between that 100-year period of 1838 to 1930s, there was roughly 4,000 Aboriginal men.
And our talk takes a new direction, back to a time thousands of years before the more recent horror stories. So Walter, have Aboriginal people ever lived on Rottnest?
Yeah, Noongar people lived here on Wanjamup over 7,500 to 10,000 years ago. Yeah, Wanjamup is the last place of the spirit on its way to Cooranup. So for the Noongar people, Cooranup, Nyirrugup is our heaven. Yeah.
It's a nicer way to think of the island, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it is.